So in the previous video, we went over wastewater data and covered the very basic concept that the higher the concentration of the wastewater, the more cases there are. But what else can we pull from this data? Well, we can see where a wave begins. We can see the time to peak, the time to the end of the wave, and what that peak concentration is. So if we do that, we can pull out all of the start of each and every wave, noting that there's always the summer wave, followed by the winter wave, summer, winter, summer, winter, summer, and then we can pull out the end dates for all of those. And then we can break all this information down to a summer wave and a winter wave table. So first we can look at when the wave starts. So it starts March, then July, then March, then June. So we have 4 data points, and this is starting to show a repeating pattern. And just as a quick aside, in any statistics course, you need a minimum of 3 data points to start establishing a pattern. Is it something you have a high degree of confidence in? Not likely, but it's still something that you can use to say, hey, I think this trend is happening. And then we can look at the duration from the start of the wave to the end of the wave. So 70 days, 105, 224, and then currently we're at 95 days and counting. So what does this tell us? It tells us that our summer wave is getting longer and longer each year, and that the end of the wave is pushing further and further into the winter. And if we look at the peak concentration in the wastewater throughout the entire United States, about 820 copies per milliliter in the first year, 760 in the second, over 1,000 in the third, and right now we're at 640. This data is as of September 24th, 2023. So based off of this number, we're very likely not at our peak concentration yet. And again, when we look at the duration, how it's getting longer, we're still not likely at the peak time to when we would have the peak concentration. And then we can look at the peak date, the time in the curve, where the concentration is the highest, what that day is, and then how many days from the start of the wave to that peak date, how long it took to get there. So it's been increasing. It's gone from 42 to 56 to 119 days. And again, we're at 95 days right now, so we're not likely at that peak. And remember, we had that sort of dual pattern where every other year it seems to be matching. So with those two right there, the March and March, we have April and July as the end dates. So if we take about April to July, that's about 3 months, May, June, July. And then September, October, November, December. So late November, early December is when we would probably peak for this summer wave if this pattern holds. So this is getting a little long, so I'm going to pause here and go to a part 3.